We are. It's episode 17 of the Tennessee Titans UK Fans podcast. Once again, I'm joined by David and James. Guys, thanks for joining me once more. So, interesting game of the weekend. So, we're a bit late doing the podcast this week, so I do apologise for our millions of fans who are looking forward to hearing our take on this. Obviously, it was the Jags 25, the Titans 3. I'll give my take on it first. That first drive, going down, I thought, do you know what? Guys looking good today. Pollard hitting it down the middle. I thought, I've been criticising Pollard. I thought, he's woke up. They've got him going. This is it. We got to the red zone. Yes, it went to fourth down, and we decided to go for the 3 points, which I think everyone in Nashville, Nissan Stadium, around the world was very disappointed because the season's over. We may as well have gone for it. We didn't. So I was very disappointed after such a good first drive that we decided to give it up and take. Okay, take the points if you're competing during the season. I have no issue with that. But then later in the game, I'm sure at one point we did a fourth down on the 50-yard line, and I was just thinking, what is going on here? What is going on? We didn't do it in the red zone, and yet we're doing it all over the pitch because the fans are now unhappy. So I think McCoy and the coaching staff need to read the room a bit better going forward and actually decide what they want to be doing here, because they're not doing themselves any favours of staying with the Tennessee Titans or even getting a job elsewhere ever again. But that's a subject for another day. So I was very disappointed. I'm sure anyone saw my TikToks on Sunday. I kind of tried to start happy and it went down fast very, very quickly. So anyone who enjoyed my TikToks, I do apologise. I was very negative on Sunday, but obviously the team is grinding me down slowly but surely. But we're festive today. We have the hat on. So guys, as positive as you can, what can you say about the game on Sunday?
Well, I thought it was a really close game until after the Jags had their second drive, and then it went downhill after that. I mean, what was so disappointing about the game was that after the last 5 weeks, we looked slightly better each week on offense, and then the Sunday's game, it was back to the first 6 games of the season, just absolutely appalling. I think no one can really say they weren't to blame. It was bad all over the pitch. And I mean, we had penalties, gave them 11 points. And after that, it would have been a reasonably close game. I mean, the Jags actually, they had 5 drives, 3 on punt, and won 6 plays for -1 yard and punt. So they weren't actually a great team on offense. It's just we were so inept.
Yeah, I don't
So I'm looking
think
for a pen. So just excuse me a second. You can carry on talking.
I I should say that first drive was really good. It was like the best it went, really. Everything seemed really good on that first drive, and I'm just looking at the plays now, and we've got one, two, three runs over 10 yards, which is probably one of the best we've done all season. Passes were all right. They were the little small passes, but there was nothing crazy. But it was effective. I'm just surprised that at 4-3, I just feel like go for it now. Like we're in that stage where 3 points doesn't really matter to me. You want to get touchdowns. If we want to win games, we need to win by touchdowns. We're not going to win with field goals. We've been kicking field goals all year with not getting anything. I'd rather have another go at trying to get to the end zone and lose it than get 3 points, which to me, 3 points is nothing really, the way the team is. But the positive side, our defense played really well. I thought they played well, considering we're on the bare bones of the secondary. I thought they played all right. We gave up some big chunk plays, but as a whole, we did keep the Jags really quiet. They only really did anything the first quarter when we went 3-0 up, and then we came back on the field and we were 12 points behind. So was it Cam came off the field at +3 and then -12 coming back on. So that was really it. Really, it was a very boring game, to be fair. Positive. I say positives. If you're looking for positives, defense played all right, I guess. quite a few sacks actually. I think our defensive line played all right.
Oh, I guess it was just a shame about the rest of the team, wasn't it? I mean, it was. I mean, the Jags weren't that good, I don't think, but we just didn't do anything, did we? Really, just kind of. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just, I mean, I feel sorry for Cam at the moment because he's a rookie quarterback, and he's there to learn now. He's got to learn. The season's over, but it's just I don't know. It's just frustrating, isn't it?
I think
Yeah, I
it's
mean
all a
Cam
bit.
didn't play very well, but
Mm,
the rest of the offense didn't play very well. But, he was inaccurate. He threw some inaccurate balls, and he had some men open, and he dropped, and he didn't get to them. But he also
I'm just going to
had,
wander off for a second, guys. Okay, carry on without me. I'll be 30 seconds. All right. Don't
yeah,
don't
he also
panic. I'll
had
be back.
people who were open. He passed to and they dropped the ball. The offensive line gave him some time, but then a lot of times they didn't give him enough time, and so he was trying. He wasn't sure whether to stay in the play and pass or shall I get out, and that just led to problems as well with not throwing accurately. The receivers didn't run great routes all the time, and which was partly down to play selection from the sidelines. I mean, and lastly, as you say, their running offense was virtually non-existent after the first drive. I mean, I think the last 3 weeks they've had, apart from Cam, they've had 77 net yards in 3 games for 38 rushes, so two yards a rush. I mean, no way can you sustain a passing offense if you're getting that much amount of rush.
It's just very unlike Titans, isn't it? Really
Yeah.
having that minimal rushing yards. Um, yeah, Cam had a really bad game. It was disappointing because of all the what he put up in the last 2 games against very, very good defenses. We then made the Jags defensive line, and they are good, but they're not up there as a top defense. And we made them look good. Cam kind of went back into his shell. He didn't use his feet. He just, yeah, it just looked a bit awful. And I say it's just all play calling, and I mean, I am ready for this season to be over. Don't get me wrong, I love watching NFL, and I know the worst thing about it is once the season's over, I'm going to be sat there going, "Oh God, it's such a long wait until the new season." But I'm just ready to see a coach come in. We better have someone lined up ready to take over as soon as the season's finished and get things in play, ready for the draft and get ready for the next season because it's just pitiful. I don't understand how we can look so promising on one drive and then just capitulate the rest of the game. All it was, we just didn't get close. We just didn't do anything. And whether it's, I don't feel like Mike McCoy is trying to get himself a job. At the end of the day, he's an offensive assistant before, so he wasn't exactly. He's not on the head coach radar for anything. He's just going to be I assume he's probably just going to be an assistant or going forwards, whether it's at the Titans or whether it's anywhere else. So he's not really covering himself in glory. I don't see him being a head coach. It's just really It's just really beige football at the moment. Just really beige, just bland and boring. It's nothing really to get excited about, apart from DK. All we
Hmm.
need to do is go three and out. Actually, no, we don't need to go three. Yeah, if we need to go three and out, give the ball straight back to them. Let Big Jeff do his work, stop them, then them punt, and then we can then attack from that. But if DK doesn't score a touchdown, we might as well just go three and out again. I feel that's how it's going to be. Just get him yardage because he's at is he leading the all-purpose yardage at the
I think
moment?
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep giving the ball to him. That's like, just
That's
let
it.
him
We're,
let him
we're
get the
on second
record.
down. We're on second down. Just punt it. Give it back to him because we'll get the ball back quicker that way, won't we?
Yeah.
But it sounds really negative, but the way the game's going, the way we're playing, I shouldn't say this, but during the game, I even had that thought during the game. I sat there watching it and I thought, do you know what? Even on first down, why don't we just punt it because we can't even get this 5 yards forward. So at least if we kick it, we're going to get forward at least. Yeah, so I did have that thought live during the game. So it's quite bad that you're saying it and I thought it, and I can imagine lots of other people would probably have that same thought. Let's just get the ball back and try run with it because we can't do anything else with it, can we?
I was surprised DK doesn't get more of a running routes. Like he's obviously quite elusive. Why don't we just use him in the run game? I can't really see. Our runners aren't doing
Well,
much. Why don't we just
let's
chuck
get him
it
on
to
wide
DK and
receiver.
let him see
Let's
what he
get him
can
at
do?
quarterback. Get him everywhere because you could
Just
do
give
with
him
like
a
10
DK and
players
just
like
let him.
him in your team, couldn't you? If you had 10 players like him just doing everything, you'd be all right. He's like, he's one of these players who he just seems to be like a natural athlete, doesn't he? He seems to be, wherever they put him, he seems to do okay. We need a few more players like that in the squad who can just kind of step up when needed.
Well,
Those players are hard to find.
I do think when it comes to punts, they while they're trying to block the punt all the time, they they hit the punter about 3 times in the game. Could easily have given away a couple more penalties, but why don't they drop a one or two people back to be an extra blocker for DK? So because quite often he's just surrounded when he has to just fair catch the ball. Having someone there who can block one of the on rushers, he can therefore get his move. And we've seen 4 times he's done big runs back when he gets the ball, and he just needs someone to help him get a block so he's going to move it.
We nearly got the return touchdown in the Jags game if it wasn't for the dirty trip by the punter.
Yeah,
And
he
then we
actually,
started.
yeah, put his
That
leg up,
punter
didn't
was a
he?
bit of an idiot, really. Granted, we hit him twice. I reckon we hit him twice, and a third time he just flopped on the floor. And then he was coming out saying he was going to go and kill Chestnut, didn't he? At one point,
Yeah, I
it was,
saw that.
it was proper ham. It was proper handbags at one point. But at the same time, I was quite pumped up about it because I was like, it's nice to see them have a little bit of a fight. We got players ejected. We were getting stuck in. Like it just felt like there
Just
was a
needed a
bit.
touchdown.
There
It was
was
a
a bit.
perfect game.
There was a bit of fight there from the team, and so I just, yeah, it's just a shame it was against the Jags, but you know what?
Hmm.
On to the next game, I guess. And it's Browns, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Next, so.
great. That's a great saying. On to the next game. On to the next defeat. There's always a silver line in there, isn't there? The next game against the. I
Yeah,
mean, what record have the Browns got this season? Any idea?
We've won 3 games now.
three.
Oh God, you can only dream for those kind of results, couldn't we? Really?
Well, we've got to play the Saints later on as well, so
Yeah.
that may well be for the number one pick.
So, but the thing is, with the Browns, I think the Browns are beatable, but we've just got.
Yeah, the thing is, we're beating ourselves. That's the problem.
That
I
is the
think I think
problem.
that's the issue. Everyone's beatable. Like yeah, we could have won a few weeks ago. Everyone is. We on our day we can beat anyone. But I just feel like the tactics at the moment from the coaching team is to lose. We don't. I know people keep saying teams don't tank for the season. I mean, you look at our squad. Although it's not the best squad, I don't think they're as bad as 1-11. And I think it's quite clear that we're not that bad. But don't know. It's like we saw that first drive how good we were. It was almost like McCoy said, "Right, that's it. We've had our run. Stop." And that's what it feels like. And yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I
sure
don't
we'll
know.
beat the Browns.
I don't know. I think we are bad. We are one. We're a 1-11 team. We're not.
No. We're 2-10. We're 2-10. We're a 2-10 team. That's what we should be. That's what we
I
should
don't
be at
think
the moment. We should at least win
we
two.
we haven't been in any game really that's making me feel like it could have swung any way.
Well, I think
Browns are
they
another.
should have beaten the Texans in the second game when they 16-13 they lost.
Oh
They
yeah,
should have
okay,
they
that's
should have
one.
beaten
But
them.
it's. I think the Browns is going to be a tough one because you're going to look to another team that's scraped wins, but also looks really bad. But I think you're going to see that where the Browns are in comparison to the Titans, and the Browns do have that level. I mean, they've got Miles Garrett for one. They've got their elite playmaker. Um, they're both going to have two rookie quarterbacks. It's probably going to be like a bit of a passing fest. They're just going to be slinging it just to try and outdo each other. Or it's just going to be one of the most boring games possible.
No, we're going to
Um,
give it to Pollard. He's going to run 3 yards, run 3 yards, run 3 yards, and then we're just going to go for it on fourth down on the 50-yard line and throw it 2 yards and then get interception and concede. So
Well, how I think
that's what
the
we're going
biggest
to do.
question is how many sacks is Garrett going to get? How many does he need? Five for the record, I think. And I think he could get all five against us, really.
I do think
Wouldn't
they
surprise
need
me.
to, for the time being, have an offensive lineman who plays up, so they have a six-man front because they just get pushed around too much otherwise.
Yeah.
So
And,
should we
and
move on from the Jags game now, or do we want to continue talking about it? Because I'm getting quite
Um,
depressed here at the moment.
no, not really.
I think
It's all every week.
we've naturally got bored of it and just gone,
Yeah.
next
Well,
game.
no, the problem is every week we're kind of thinking we're going to win, we're going to win, and we start quite positive, then we keep losing, then we get to the podcast, it's like when a team keeps losing as bad as we are, it's they say it's so hard to find a positive spin to talk about to make it positive and make you think, oh, yeah, okay, it's live sport, someone's got to lose, it's fine. But we went down trying, but on Sunday, I mean, I'll tell you what, from Sunday's game, and if you saw my TikTok, when the snap went into Cam Ward's face, yeah, you can't blame Cam Ward because obviously I know he wasn't ready for it, but the snap was dreadful, and we got away with it because of a penalty. And then the next snap was really high, and I was just like, some things in all sports are simple. And to me, I've noticed the last couple of seasons actually that the snaps are coming in quite high, and the quarterback's constantly like this trying to get the ball. And I'm thinking, why are you making it so difficult for the guys? By throwing it so high. But on Sunday, when that ball hit him in the face, I just thought this just typifies the entire season and the whole team as a franchise. And then when the next snap came out, straight away the next snap was nearly as bad again. I was just like, what is going on? We can't even do the simple. That's what makes it even more frustrating at the moment is that you don't mind it if there's rookie mistakes and silly little things happening, but it's the absolute basics that you'd expect any American football player or even someone who supports American football to be able to even achieve. Throwing the ball 100 yards and catching it is quite difficult to do, but snapping the ball, that's like one guy's main job is to snap the ball to the quarterback. And I don't know what you guys thought that when you saw that snap because it drove me mad.
He wasn't the starting centre though.
No.
Um,
But
I,
he's
But it's
had
but
practice all
it's
week,
still
though,
the
hasn't he,
basics, isn't
with
it?
him?
It's the basics.
I think Cam stands, when he plays shotgun, I think he stands a little bit closer than some quarterbacks do. So, but that's not really an excuse because, Levin's played enough games that he knows how to snap the ball. He should be able to snap it at the right height.
it's just the Titans. We're just a bit meh all the way around, aren't we? Really?
Hmm.
I think. To be fair,
Yeah,
do you
that's
know
one
what?
way to put it.
It's just that the thing that the bit I was disappointed with was just the how we felt like we'd made two steps forward with the last two games, and then we just taken like five back. And I just felt like we were back at the beginning of the season again, where you've got a rookie QB that's kind of just been.
Abused.
It was almost like what was it, the Vikings game, and they've just got a rookie QB who's undrafted. They've just gone, right, here you go. You're gonna have to play. Probably wasn't even thinking about playing. He's a practice squad QB, I think, and they just stuck him in there. And it literally felt like that. It was just a guy that was completely just not ready. They had no idea what was going on, and it just felt like that was our offense. Was just no one had a clue, and that's the worrying. Well, I say worrying. I'm not really worried. We're not going to make the playoffs, so I don't need. I'm not worried about anything. I'm
Oh,
more just kind of
no.
a bit like, oh, let's just get to the end of the season. Let's just restart, and I'll get by the draft, and I'll be sitting there going, oh yeah, we're all hyped again. That's it, playoffs. I just need to kind of like rein it in now, and I feel like this is definitely a season where I'm. It's now. I'm literally. We are bad. We are very bad, and I have no expectations for next season. I just want to be better. I just want to be better. I just want a good coach that's gonna get us somewhere. I'm not expecting miracles in the
Well,
first
see,
season. I'm
I
not
think
expecting
I
miracles in
think that's
two
the problem we've got
seasons.
now is we're so depressed and we're so like negative. But then we can look at it and think, well, we're not being coached very well. We need that. They need to get the appointment as soon as possible. And I'm going to guess as soon as the season's over, that's when we'll see the announcement. But I think once we get a new coach in and we're happy with the appointment, that's going to give you that first lift. And as you said, as we get the draft, you'll get the second lift. Then when we win the first preseason game, we're all going to sit here saying, well, that's it. We're Super Bowl ready. And then week one, we'll have a difference of opinion maybe.
I think, would we, for instance, just in a hypothetically, if we went for Mike McCarthy as our head coach, why couldn't we have got him in now? Because he's not at a team, is he? So
No,
couldn't
I
we
mean,
couldn't we have
did
got him
he
in
resign or
now?
was
I
he?
assume that we're
Did he
not
resign or
going
was he
for him.
fired from his last
He
job?
was fired from the Cowboys.
Now, I
Um,
know in soccer terms, lots of managers they have like a 5-year contract, they get fired, and they then, if they get another job, they then have to give the money back or give up payment. So maybe is it related to that possibly, or does he not want to? It also could be a case of does Mike McCarthy say, well, you're rubbish. I'd rather sit back and wait because if he comes in and loses the first 5 games, it's not going to be on him. It's going to be against his record. Is there something like that with it? Maybe I don't know.
no, I think there's a lot of the Titans are a very which sounds quite in contrary to what we actually are. We're actually quite a favourable team. We've got a high pick or low pick, which way you want to look at it. We've got a rookie QB that people believe to be really good. We've got a new stadium coming. Um,
Well, yeah, there's
and
lots of
I
positives,
think
isn't there?
we've got a lot of a lot of cap money to spend. So I think we've got a lot of exciting things in and around the Titans. We just need to get to that better level. So I believe it's not. I don't think he's not going to want to come. I think we're very. It's going to be a very favourable option for him. I just I don't know where I just don't know whether we can hire them in mid-season or whether we've got that Chiefs. Um, what I want to try and think of saying, but we've got that Chiefs connection where we're actually waiting to the end to see if we're going to get Nagy because I think them two are the top two candidates,
Mm.
aren't they? Mike McCarthy and Nagy.
I think the thing is, though, if it would be silly to pick someone in during the season because he's going to be working with people who aren't his choice to work with for a start. So that's not a good thing anyway, because he won't really, at the end of the year, he's probably going to sack half of them and then get somebody new, which isn't great. Plus, also, you may find that actually the candidate you really want is available in January or later in January and you've now picked someone else. So I think it's better to wait until the end of the season. He's not going to be snapped up by anybody between now and the end of the season. So what?
No, I think it's just I want to see someone just getting that opportunity to work with Ward and make those inroads now rather than just wait. I just feel like it's a bit of a waste year, isn't it? It's just you
Mm.
just feel like you're not making the progress we thought we would make with
But
Cam,
the head
and
coach really
it's not
doesn't.
his fault. It's always like the QB coach was drafted into play calling. He's in his second head coach, who's not really a head coach, and it's a bit. I think I just feel a bit sorry for him that his development's really going to start
Oh yeah,
next year.
no, I agree with what you're saying, but I think also though head coaches aren't necessarily the person who's in all quite as close to the QB as the actual quarterbacks coach and the offensive coordinator. And if that person is going to get the boot come January, um, he's not really helping, is he?
No, I suppose. I suppose.
Um,
Well, I tell you what, we'll move on obviously a little bit. And so I know we've mentioned the draft. You know, I know I keep seeing people online saying the Titans need to work out what they need to address. Well, there's a lot to address at the Titans. Quite clearly, we're going to be in the first 3 picks. Quite clearly, probably the first two, probably the first one. Do we trade back to get better players and more draft picks, or do we go for the best player in the draft? Now, question marks over Cam Ward. I know some weeks I go online, and especially on Twitter, X, we call it, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Cam Ward's great," and then the next week they're like, "Cam Ward's rubbish." I'm sure James has said that a few times as well. Um, first question is quarterback an issue? I don't think it is. I personally think, I mean, I would like us to obviously not draft a quarterback. If there's a number one quarterback out there, draft back, get more picks. I still think, and I know his name should be mentioned on here, I think if Levis is fit over the summer, he's got plenty of time. I'd like to see him get a 1 year deal at the Titans. Because he did show promise. He made lots of mistakes. Maybe he's learned a lot during his injury. I'd like to see him given a chance and compete with Cam Ward next season. I do feel I do feel like with Cam Ward, we've kind of said, right, you're the number one pick, you're the number one quarterback. We're going to, no matter what happens, you've got the position. I'd like to see somebody come in and actually put a bit of pressure on him to keep him on his toes. So I'd like to see Levs given a go. I know I've looked online today, and Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza, sorry, are players who mentioned of top draft picks. But I think quarterback isn't a position we need. There's lots we need. What do you think we'll do with our first round pick, which is probably going to be the first pick of the draft?
I don't think we need a QB as much as I've been very critical of Cam this year. It's I don't think he's I don't think we need to waste another pick on a QB.
Mm.
I there's enough. I'm willing to. I would rather see us build round Cam, and then in 4 years' time, because obviously this season's a bit of a waste. In 4 years' time, if he's not the one, we then make big moves to go and pick a QB that's hopefully ready in
Season pro.
that year, in that season. It's been a bad year for QBs, but at the same time, Dart was really good. It has looked really good, but he might not make it past year two if he keeps getting concussions. But for me, it's a draft back. You got to hope there's teams in and around us that are QB
Desperate.
desperate because you don't want to go too far back and then miss out picks. So players like that Ruben Bain Jr. from Miami, he looks like a top prospect at edge, which we desperately need. Which is actually going quite a difference because we've actually been quite good on the defensive line the last couple of weeks. But I feel like we definitely need an edge threat. If you go a bit further back, you're probably looking at who I was looking at. I'll tell you what, who I do really, 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 really want. We won't get him, but I really want him. Is that Jeremiah Love, that running back?
Oh,
Oh my God.
he's on my list as well.
He looks so good, and there's people saying that he's like probably the number one between him and that Bain as the number one draft pick because he's that good. But we won't go for a running back. We've got too many of. Although I do feel like running back is an option, but for me personally, I would be going for a wide receiver. I just think we need something on that offense to get it going. So that could be Tyson looks good. Who's that one?
On my
What's
list
his
as
name?
well.
Oh, I forgot his name now. There's not. Oh, Carnell Tate. He looks quite good, but we just need a stud at wide receiver. I feel we just need something to get that offense going and having a
Restrepo.
number one option. But yeah, but then I will say there is one person I want, and that is whether we can draft back, we could pick him. I do really want David Bailey, just because I'll get a shirt with my surname on the back. And then if he leaves, I don't really care because then it's my
No, it
name on
doesn't
the
matter,
back.
does it?
So, and I'm not going to get traded or like cut or released. I might release myself, but I'm not going to get cut. So,
Well, I think it
Any
depends
thoughts,
on.
David?
Well, it really depends on how Mendoza fares over the next few weeks as to whether he becomes the hot pick that everybody wants. Then there's a really good chance of us being able to trade back and pick up, say, if the Jets were to come in and give us a first round pick for him, and they've got three first round picks, I think, and possibly another one, and then you've got real chances. But obviously, the further you go down, something like Baines is no longer available. I mean, his rating, I think, is far superior to anyone else, and could be, as good an edge rusher or edge player that's has been around for a while. But you're right about us needing a running back. But I quite like Farno, he's he's quite a good rated offensive tackle. I mean, either left or right. I think he's very good at. And At the moment, Latham doesn't look like he's progressed. He seems to have regressed this season compared to last season. Also, Banks, but there has been talk that maybe he'll be swapped into playing at a guard, and maybe Varney could play as the right tackle or even left tackle, and the left tackle move to right tackle. Yeah,
I think with the worst thing about offensive line, it's just unless you're picking a stud, which obviously we thought we were doing with Skoronski, and he has turned out to be a good pick. What we thought with JC Latham, and obviously with Isaiah Wilson, we've actually invested quite a lot into our offensive line. And it's horrible. It's boring picks, isn't it? Really, and I think
oh, I agree. It's boring picks,
it's
but we haven't fixed it. And for
yeah. This is the
me,
problem, isn't it?
from
It-
21, it's been a downhill journey, and we keep getting worse and worse. And unless we fix it, either they're going to spend a lot in free agency if there's one available.
I think we've got the
Or
cap space. If we
yeah,
can, if we draft well, the only person, if we could draft trade with the Jets, and how many picks they've got this year? They've got two,
I think they got three this year and two next
three.
year.
So well, even if it's two, they can give us if we trade and we took both their first round picks and maybe a second next year or something like that. Because I would say if you're trading down, you got to give away two first round picks for one. I reckon if you're trading down easily as a minimum anyway. If we could get two this year and we could pick two stud players and we went for like an edge wide in my eyes, I'd love to go for an edge wide receiver, or if Love's still there, I'd like happily take him. Then you've got your two big pieces taken off already, and then you've got second round, which we can go for a offensive line, and obviously we've got free agency to bulk up on. It'd be interesting to see what we do. If we could get two good picks, it'll be this in the first round. That would be amazing. I think it'd be just sort us out for a little bit. I just don't like waiting. I just don't want to take a pick like a mid pick this year and then have to wait around till next year to get two picks. I'd rather have the two picks this year. I'm just a bit impatient like that. I just want to see us get to like back into a sort of mediocre football as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been There's so many holes to fill, isn't there? And it's kind of if you pick a running back, it's the wrong decision. We needed an offensive line. If you pick an offensive line, you needed a wide receiver. If you pick the wide receiver, you need a quarterback. So there's so many holes we need to fill, and I do feel sorry for the guys who come in who are going to make these decisions because it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Because there's this we've kind of I don't know what we've done the last few years. We just seem to have just lost everything that we had that was good, and we've just fallen apart. And it's just now it's rebuild again. Although we've already been in a full rebuild, we seem to have failed at that, haven't we, so far? I know we've got a couple of good players like DK, but just there's a lot to do, isn't there? And I just think it's going to be hard work. But
I have
I'm
faith in
sure
them.
I'm.
I have faith
So
in
again,
them picking well. I'm
I think I've
sold
got
on
more faith than I have on
this year's
previous
draft.
years.
Yeah, I'm quite confident with
I
they're going
mean,
to
hopefully,
go.
like you say, we're going to get that right head coach in, and that's going to give us that confidence as well with the right head coach, somebody with vision and strong, and hopefully McCarthy with his experience is going to come in and knows what he wants to do. Hopefully, if he is coming in, he's there now researching the team and kind of already making these decisions. Hopefully, we don't leave the head coach role. When is the draft? Is it April?
Yeah, it's about the last Thursday in
Yeah.
April.
So like I say, hopefully they bring somebody in, they give him enough time and enough support, and he already knows he's got the job now, and he's watching the team thinking, there's a lot of work that he's doing, and he's got in his mind what he needs to get. So we'll quickly talk about the next game against the Browns. I want a prediction from you two. I've got my prediction lined up already, so I want to know what you guys think, how many we're going to win by. Remember, James, we've got to be positive. So, David, I'll let you go first while James has a moment to digress in his mind. How many
Well,
Titans touchdowns is going to be?
he can't. I mean, we were full of confidence last week. I don't think we're going to be that confident this week. It really depends on if they can slow down Miles Garrett some way. Um, but
Injury.
I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. probably going to be something like 2014 or something like that.
Who to?
50-50 choice, really. Um, I'll say we'll win. I'll say we'll win.
Okay.
I
Go on then,
hope
James.
I hope we win. Um, I'm gonna say 24-12.
24-12.
I
Oh,
just I want to win because there's a lot of split between the fan base, especially the American fan base, where a lot of them are pro Ward and a lot of them are pro Sanders, and it would just be very nice to to shut them up a little bit, those pro Sanders were people, and just be like, and just for Ward to get like that one victory and just beat the other rookie, because you know what the narrative's going to be. If Sanders beats
Yeah,
Ward, the
you've
narrative will
wasted the
be
first round pick.
we've
Should have
wasted
got
the
Sanders
pick.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll just be an absolute toxic fest online. Um, and I say I don't even hate Sanders. I don't even dislike him. Would have been happy with either, to be fair. Um, but I just know what the narrative's going to be. I could see Garrett breaking the sack record against us. Um, I can't. I don't. We're not going to stop him, and it's just about those times we do stop him are the times that we hopefully could capitalize on it. At the end of the day, Browns aren't great, and I should be feeling more confident going into this game than I was in the Jags game, when the Jags are actually a relatively okay team. The Browns aren't a good team, so we should have a good chance. I think they're a better team than us in certain places, but you make
Oh,
this positivity's kicking in. I just
yeah.
wanted to, I want us to win rather than thinking we will win. I want us to beat the Browns just because of the Sanders thing. But yeah.
I'm going to give you my prediction. Hold to your seats, guys. Going to go Titans 45, Browns 30. I think this is going to be. No, don't laugh. I'm being serious. I honestly
We haven't
think
gone
this
over
is going to
30
be
points in like 3 years.
game of the season. We're just going to explode. I think the Browns are going to explode as well. It's going to be touchdown for touchdown. It's going to be red zone all night. Everyone watching red zone, all they're going to see is Titans and Browns. 45-30 to the Titans. I think it's just going to be one of those games. I know I'm deluded sometimes and I'm too positive, but there we go.
they haven't scored 45 points in the last four games, have they?
I know they've been saving it for this game, haven't they? This
We
is
haven't scored
saving
over
it for this
30
game.
in 3 years, I don't think we have.
I know. That's why it's got to happen
No, I
eventually.
think we got 31 in Levis's first game, didn't we? Got over 30.
Oh, was that long ago? We
Oh,
can't
four
remember.
touchdowns, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so we're down to the last 30 seconds, guys. So listen, guys, thanks for joining me again. I know it was a bit different doing it on Thursday, but we finally got together eventually. So obviously, again, for anyone who watches the podcast, please come along on a Sunday. Join us on Facebook, Tennessee Titans UK fans. That's where we have the most activity. Obviously on TikTok, Instagram, X, we're everywhere. So please come along and join us. Have a good laugh with us. You'll have a good laugh at my score prediction on Sunday when the score's probably not nowhere near like that. So guys,
6-3.
thanks for joining me, and I'll speak to you on Sunday.
See you later.
Later.